Hi, I'm Jeanne Kelly, your credit coach, and I'm so excited to have Andrea Owens on today. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to ask, so you're in real estate,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I wanted to know, how did you get into the real estate business?
I came at it from an investor first before having my license. I had interest in flipping, and at the time, my husband's work schedule was not a typical 9 to 5. He was working as an RN and he had the 12-hour shifts where you don't work that many days compared to a normal person. So it worked well for us to be able to handle about a flip a year for a while. And especially at that point, my kids were still at an age where I had a lot of people saying you should get your real estate license, but thankfully I knew better. I waited because I knew they weren't quite at the age yet where I was ready for that to take it full on. So that's how I came about it. And then it was just a real easy transition into getting my license from that point because I had really spent a lot of time, constantly in the world pricing things. Even though I wasn't licensed, it was an easy transition really once I got my license.
Okay, and now where are you located? So if people are looking for a realtor in your area,
Yes, ma'am. I am in the panhandle of Florida. I mainly service Bay and Gulf counties, sometimes Washington County as well. So, yes, most people have heard of Panama City Beach. That's probably what makes us the most famous here in Bay County. And so, yes, we're right here on the beautiful Emerald Coast, as they call it. Really, some gorgeous outdoor opportunities that we have here. And so, yep, love to tell people all about the things that we like to do. We're very outdoorsy and we do get very much involved in some of the really cool things, unique things like scalping, for instance, that you get to do here that you can't do in a lot of
oh,
places of the world.
yeah, nice. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And now we got to know each other because I think you connected with my office because maybe you were working with first time home buyers. Is that your favorite, or let everyone know, like,
Yeah.
what's your
Yeah.
specialty?
So there's a lender I work with here, actually, I will tell you, who is very, very seasoned. I mean, like 30 years in the business. And he actually connected me with you because he said he listens to these podcasts and has for many, many years. And he was telling me, oh, you got to talk to this one because this one I really, really trust. And I don't trust a lot of the credit coaches out there. So
Oh, that's
that's a huge
nice.
plug for you guys. That's how I got connected with you because you came so highly recommended. But so I do specialize in a few things, and one of them is the first time home buyer. It doesn't have, I don't actually like to say first time home buyer because really they just have to not have owned in the last 3 years. So they don't
Okay.
necessarily have to be first time home buyers. But yes, Bay County particularly has some really unique opportunities. We have right now the highest paying grant is $60,000.
My goodness.
Yeah, 50. And actually, we had one that was up to 75, but right now that one's run out of money. So for
Okay.
now, the highest payer is 60,000. 50,000 towards the house, 10,000 towards your closing costs. Then, of course, we have Hometown Heroes. That is, whereas the 60,000 one is very specific to where you have to buy, very, very tight area where you have to buy within Bay County. Hometown Heroes is statewide, anywhere in the whole state. And there's a large list of professions that qualify. It can be surprising how many professions actually qualify. That is 5% up to $500,000 home purchase. So up to 25,000 on that one. And then
Wow.
yeah, and then we have a couple of Florida bond and bond alternative, which are also statewide. Those are $10,000. So they are smaller amounts, but you do have more flexibility again in area as far as where you can buy. Yeah.
Okay, so the one regarding the grants where you're saying, I know it's stricter, what exactly would that be to be able to get extra money right now in your area?
Yeah. Well, you have to qualify income wise. It goes by household size. You have to qualify by not having owned anything anywhere housing wise in the past 3 years.
3 years.
And then you have to qualify credit wise, but it's not super high on credit or anything like that. You just have to have like a minimum 620 middle mortgage score. You have to be able to basically qualify for a mortgage is basically what they're looking for. As far as the areas, it's for the highest paying one right now, it has to be within the city limits of Panama City The property specifically has to be paying water to the city of Panama City. That's how they delineate which house qualifies and doesn't. So this one is a pretty tight area. We did have a county-wide one, which was anywhere within the whole county of Bay County that was up to 75. Right now, they're out of money. From what I'm being told, possibly by this coming summer. I guess it depends on how voting goes. There may be funds available again. So I do still have a few of the county people that have trickled through from before they ran out of money that we're working with. But for now, the new people, that's not an option. But again, it should be an option in the future.
Right. That's incredible because right now people, they hear possibly rates are up, and
Mhm.
they're afraid.
Yeah.
And which to me, if you want to purchase a home, the rates are what they are. It's 30 years if there's something that ever changes. But I mean, it's better than rent and all of a sudden your rent going up and you're not
Yeah.
owning anything. So not to be afraid, but I love the fact of these programs that
Mhm.
is in your area. I mean, this is
Yeah.
incredible. I have
Yeah.
to blast this to everyone in Florida
Yeah.
because really incredible. It's a lot of money and it's just Andrea, honestly, it's what people know. They don't know this
Right.
exists. So if they go
Right.
to another realtor,
Right.
or someone else that doesn't want to take the time to learn about these
Mhm.
programs, and
Yeah.
that is obviously something you're a star at.
Yeah, thank you. And the other cool thing is this money actually, at least the highest paying grant, not the other two. Those do attach to the property and stay with the property until it's sold. But the highest paying one right now, it forgives. And what I mean by that is it is attached to the property, but it starts forgiving at year 6 in increments of 10%. So by the time you hit year 15, it's completely forgiven. So you don't, as long as you own that property for 15 years, you will not pay any of that money back. You don't pay it during those 15 years. It's not like part of your payment, anything like that. So it really, truly is free money as long as you're willing to hang on to the property for that period of time. And then beyond that, too, you mentioned my interest rates. Definitely people can reach out to me there too, because I currently have a listing under contract that is a VA loan, and VA
Mhm.
loans, I'm sure as you know, are assumable by anybody. You do not have to have served. They are assumable as long as you reach, the credit requirements, the minimum, credit requirements. And I have somebody right now who's assuming a 2.75% loan from a
That's
seller of mine.
incredible.
Yeah. So there are opportunities also, particularly with us being, I should point this out to other people in other areas don't know this. We are in a heavy, heavy military area. We are very close to Tyndall and then Eglin Air Force bases. And so there are a lot of VA loans around here. So there are lots of opportunities for assuming loans like that. And again, you do not have to be VA. You do not have to ever have served. You just have to meet the minimum credit requirements, and anybody can assume a VA loan.
Okay, so I have to tell you, I've been a credit expert over 20 years. I'm not in the mortgage space. I just have a lot of guests on, and you're in my circle. I have never heard
Okay.
that you didn't need to serve to get a
Mhm.
VA loan. I just no one has ever talked about that.
To
So
originally get it, you do, to be the
mhm.
original purchaser, but to assume a VA loan, you do not. Yeah.
Okay, to
Yeah.
assume. Okay, that's
Yeah.
great to know. Now, do you do home buying seminars or events or anything online so people can find you and learn more?
I tried to do home buyer seminars, and what I found, I even had like the venue. Everybody that came was gonna get free Chick-fil-A. But what I found was we never did have it in person because people would just message me and just say, no, I just rather hear the information now. Like they over and over, I
Right.
kept hearing that. So I never wound up having the actual seminar that I planned to have. So I just continue to advertise the way I've been ever since. And that's been very effective. And people tend to, with a busy lifestyle, they tend to just want to be able to message back and forth right away, get the information they know, see if they qualify. And so we've gone about it that way instead.
Right. Yeah, I know. I understand. Same in the credit world. When they want information regarding their credit, they don't want to. They don't even want to wait for a webinar that's in 3 days.
Right.
I used to have a weekly webinar, and I had to make it daily because people are like, I can't wait 3 days. I need to know now.
Right.
So I get that.
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
now during your day, like what's your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing in the real estate business that you
I really love helping people, especially in this space that we were talking about with the grants, and not even necessarily, there are people who are outside of the grant, that there's some other, like 1% conventional finance options. There's some other, the people who thought that they were never ever in a million years going to be able to buy a home, to be able to get them into a home is just phenomenal. I had one young lady who was living in a shed with her. There's actually, unfortunately, there was a lot of that around here, particularly after the hurricane that we had 4 years ago. And she was living in a shed with her little boy. And so to get her out of that, I mean, it's just extremely rewarding to be able to do things like that. I also love,
absolutely.
another segment I work with is probate, which of course somebody has passed in probate.
Mhm.
And I really love working with probate families as well. I do a lot beyond the typical real estate scope. I'll get into estate sales, all kinds of extra things that people just need in those situations. So that's very rewarding as well.
Yeah,
Share
absolutely.
with those
Oh, of
families.
course. Oh, that story of the mom, that's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, I would be driving by her house weekly to, no, that's incredible because I know the feeling of, wanting to purchase, and
Mhm.
having, being broke, that's what got me in this industry, being in debt,
Right.
having bad credit.
Okay.
And, I couldn't even rent an apartment. It was just so bad. And
Yeah.
to dig your way out of that and then be on the other side, you love sharing what you learned and, cheering on the next person. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
incredible. I love
Yeah, I
that.
I mean, I have people who are like in their 60s and it's the first time they've ever owned, and they are just in tears when I tell them that they won their contract, because they just never in a million years thought that they would see themselves being a homeowner. So that is just really, really cool to get to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I always say do what you love and the money always flows, right?
Yeah.
So like if you
Yeah.
love what you do, it's
Yeah.
and you're changing people's lives where they live and that's incredible, Andrea. I love that.
Thank
Now,
you.
let me ask you because I ask everyone, how did you learn about
I learned about credit mostly from gurus like your wonderful organization. I've reached out a lot anytime I have questions, and learned a lot actually. I from Kelly group, and then also from lenders over the years. There's things that I've learned for sure from them and asking questions. But I would say honestly, your group has been really valuable in teaching me a lot of things, even that lenders are not as on the cutting edge, I guess is the way to say it, as you guys are. And you have a little bit more. There's things that I've learned that I've been able to even teach lenders that they didn't know. And it's come from you guys. So
Oh, that's awesome. Thank
yeah,
you.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
well, it is incredible. We all have our niche, right? Lenders, I try to stay out of their lane because they live and breathe it. They every single day new things they're learning, what products come in front of them. And that's the same in the credit industry. So it's a full-time job, right?
Mhm.
So we live and breathe it. And sometimes it's just one little thing that, can change on your credit report if you just knew. So
Right.
educating, healthy credit is what we love doing. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome. Thank you.
oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, so right now, what would you say? Obviously, you love doing that, but like, what's on the horizon this year for you since it's the new year? Like, what are your goals to reach this year in your real estate business and on whatever?
I'm just hoping to be able to grow my business, bigger than what it's been, reach more people. I'm also interested to see, as the year evolves, what continues to happen in the market, and then, have to make adjustments accordingly. Definitely what I've seen is that the 350,000 and above market, we're seeing lots of price reductions.
Okay,
So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes opportunities. I would think that there would be maybe more of a push from out of state people who are interested in coming here, especially as it gets more affordable versus the states they're coming from. So there's just some things there's a app that's going to be coming out, I'm told, in March. So we're going to have to see how that unfolds. That's actually a Buy by Cali app because people are leaving California in such droves. And
Oh,
I'm there's a realtor that represents counties all over the United States. So I'm the realtor for a couple counties here. So I'm interested to see how that plays into my year as that gets unveiled. So that's some of the things on the horizon for me right now.
that's awesome. I
Yeah.
have to I'm so impressed regarding the grants and all of that information for your area. Now let me ask you, if someone's not in your area, how do they learn more about those for their area if they even exist? Like I'm in New York. Do I know
Yes.
if like how would I begin to research or how would I find a realtor like you? Like is there something under your name like is it besides the star that I believe should be there? But like, how do we find out?
I would say talk to some realtors, and if they don't seem to know anything in those areas about it, because like you said, a lot of realtors don't. I find that even in my area, a lot of realtors don't know about the opportunities that are out there. I would say to reach out to your like community development type offices of your cities and see, do you have anything? Is there anything open? Is there anything that you're going to be offering to residents? Hopefully they can get you hooked with a realtor that is going to be knowledgeable about those programs. But I would say that would be a good place to start.
Okay. And tell everyone again exactly where you're located and what areas you can sell them a home or list a home for them.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Bay County, Florida. So I service Bay County, Gulf County, Washington County, Florida, and it's in the Panhandle area. And for those out of state, if you think about Panama City Beach, then you're thinking about the general area that I'm in. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
awesome. And I have your website posted. Definitely reach out to Andrea if you want to purchase a home in those areas. I mean, definitely reach out to Andrea. Obviously, you'll be able to see if they can fit into one of those programs and to think like free money. I mean,
Yeah,
15 years goes by. I know it seems like a long time, but when you own a home, you know how like all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's 4 years, it's 8 years,
yeah.
and it goes by fast to be able to get that amount of money and
Mhm.
not have to pay it back is
Right,
incredible.
right. It's a
So
huge
that's
boost.
yeah, awesome. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for jumping on today. I really appreciate it. And I got to have you back because this is just so much information. I want everyone to keep learning about you.
Okay, sounds great. Maybe next time we come back, I could even show some video footage of my husband and I jet skiing out on Shell Island, which is a barrier island that you can't drive to. I did
Oh,
some phenomenal footage for the new app that's coming out. And every time we go out there, we see dolphins, we see manatees, just phenomenal.
that's incredible. I totally want to see that. Do you have
Crystal
a
clear.
social Yeah, do you have social media? Like are you on Instagram or Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
And
And
do they find you with your name or how did we find you?
yes, they could either my business page, which Andrea sells Bay Homes, or they could Andrea Long Owens is my regular Facebook handle. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I
And
got to see that.
I have lots of video posted from this last fall out at Shell Island. So I love to show people why they want to live here. It's when they see the video footage, it's pretty easy to
That's
understand.
awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I'm totally go as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to your Instagram to check it out. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Bye.